Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Thank you. Do like and subscribe. It's down there. That's very good of you. I'm going to talk today about the tragedy of a young lady that died by her own hand in HMP STYAL. This young lady is 18 years of age. 18 years of age. Her name was Analise Sanderson. And she was just 18 and she was held in an adult prison. That's HMP STYAL. I mean, what on earth has happened to the YP units? And the reason that this lady, she'd been, apparently, all her life, she had been what her mother described as a lost soul. She had first attempted to commit suicide at the age of 9 years. Obviously suffering from some delusion that life was something that it never is. Yeah. But at the age of 18, well, I think she was 17 when she committed the offence that saw her put in prison. She attempted to set herself on fire at a petrol station. And when a paramedic went to stop her, she assaulted the paramedic, and it was that reason that she was sentenced to 52 weeks or a year in prison and sent to HMP STYAL. Well, you wouldn't have to be Sherlock Holmes to realise that this lady was not a criminal, but suffering from some form of mental problems, and that she should have been referred to an institution for people who have got these problems, except in our wisdom we have completely banished away all these institutions and replaced them with care in the community, except the care in the community is more like neglect in the community. Let's be perfectly honest about this. And of course, putting a very vulnerable young lady like this into an adult prison is going to pose certain problems. Apparently, she was held on a dormitory ward. The jury in Warrington concluded that she was of unsound mind when she did commit this, but the coroners decided that they're not going to make any recommendations to the Home Office or anybody else, because they believe that they have now got their act together and that they're paying more attention to the needs of people who come into the prisons. You see this hat? Yeah, I'll eat the bastard if that's true. It just isn't, is it? Yeah. The tragedy of this is that a young life has been lost, and she was a very pretty young lady, but obviously suffering from mental problems, serious mental problems. And what do we do when we get people with mental problems in prison? Well, there's not a great deal that the staff can do. Staff are short-staffed at the moment, seriously short-staffed for various reasons which we've already discussed here. But when you get somebody in there who's presenting a real problem, they tend to remove them to segregated location. You know, put them into a padded cell, and well, in my day they did anyway. I'm sure they still do, and possibly inject them with something like chlorpromazine, yeah, or Largactil, or whatever they're using these days. But that way they don't harm themselves because they're sedated out of it in a padded cell. But can you imagine doing that to a vulnerable 18-year-old girl? Apparently, from what the people in her dormitory at HMP STYAL were saying, was that she didn't know where she was, she didn't know why she was there, and she didn't know when she was going to get out. She was lost. And apparently she was a happy individual. The people in the dormitory that were serving time with her found her to be a happy lady and the life and soul of the dormitory. But unfortunately, the staff didn't pay or couldn't pay attention to her, and she has now committed suicide and has moved into another dimension. Apparently, there's been money allocated to HMP STYAL to deal with mental problems of inmates, something like 1.5 million, I believe, and this is designed to intervene before the problems get completely out of hand. When we get to places like Strangeways and Wormwood Scrubs, massive, great adult male prisons, if you've got mental problems there, which many have, they come in with drug addictions, they come in with all manner of problems, schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever you want to call it these days, and the staff haven't got the expertise or the time to actually pay attention to them. So there will be numerous incidences. There absolutely are numerous instances of self-harm within HM prisons, and there seems to be nobody paying any attention to this. Of course, the prisons are absolutely full, and we're slinging more and more people in. They put a guy into prison for stealing osprey eggs. Did you see that? He was abseiling down a cliff face to a nest of ospreys and stole their eggs. Apparently they fetch good money on them. I have nothing about rare eggs or anything like that. The only eggs I encounter are usually fried by my wife. In fact, I might have some today. Who knows? It's up to my darling Mary. Anyway, yeah, so they're putting people into prison for all sorts of nonsense. I mean, the right way to deal with somebody who's obviously done that for monetary gain is to take money from them. It's no good slinging them into prison. I mean, it ruins their life. It makes them virtually unemployable. I mean, I have seen people applying for jobs when they've got criminal records, which they're required to disclose, and they just don't get it. People aren't going to do it. They're going to say once you've been locked up like that, then you're likely to do it again. So that's today's moan on Tales for the Jails, that there should be facilities that are not prisons to deal with people who are suffering from mental issues, and certainly somebody who has attempted suicide like that on numerous occasions, they must have known she was a suicide risk. It would have been on her medical records. Yet there she was in HMP STYAL, and she killed herself. So it's a very sad end. Rest in peace, Analise Sanderson. Beautiful young lady, gone too soon for no reason at all other than she was failed by the system. I sincerely hope you're enjoying this, folks. Like and subscribe if you will. I'm going to read you a poem now. I'll just ring the ding-dong. Song ding-a-ding-dong. Yeah, hey, by the way, I'm writing my next book. I'm at chapter 12. I've finished chapter 12. I'm starting chapter 13 now. I'm somewhere about 40-odd thousand words. And it should be finished by the end of this month, because I'm going to try and do a chapter a day. I'm going to read you a poem now. Let's so if I can get this poem, I can see it, because it's only in small print. This is in my travelling poetry book. It's been all around the world with me, that. It's been in Libya, Germany, Paris, you name it. It's been there. Spain, I took it with me all over the place. When I was a younger man, of course. Don't travel so much these days. This is by Percy Bysshe Shelley, whose name is writ on water. He drowned, you see, and that's what it says on his grave. His name is writ on water. This is Ozymandias, and Ozymandias tells a story about the mightiest of the mighty, a great king that lived thousands of years ago, and it really the messages of the futility of materialism. Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I met a traveller from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell us its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that modelled them, and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing besides remains round the decay of that collapsed wreck, boundless and bare. The lone and level sands stretch far away. Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed that. And don't forget to get my book, folks. You like book 3, volume 3. It's getting rave reviews. I've got proofreaders, you see. They're saying it's the best yet. Who knows? I try. Tales from the Jails.